My wife texted, "Girls' night. Don't wait up." I replied with a single sentence, and 10 minutes later, she came home looking terrified. My name is Daniel, and until that Friday night, I believed my marriage was still worth saving. My wife, Sarah, stood in front of the bedroom mirror getting ready. She wore a black dress that seemed far too elegant for a casual evening with friends. Her makeup was flawless, her hair perfectly styled, and the excitement in her eyes didn't match the story she was selling. "Just a girls' night," she said, while slipping on her earrings. I forced a smile. "You seem pretty dressed up for it." She laughed lightly. "Not everything is a conspiracy, Daniel. Try to relax." Then she grabbed her purse and left. The house fell silent the moment the front door closed. I sat alone in the living room, staring at the television without really watching it. Something inside me felt wrong. For months, little things had been adding up. Late-night messages she quickly hid. Sudden overtime shifts. Secretive phone calls taken outside. Whenever I asked questions, she always had answers ready. Too ready. I wanted to trust her, so I stayed quiet. But trust becomes difficult when doubt keeps showing up at your door. Around an hour later, my phone buzzed. "Probably staying at Megan's tonight. Don't wait up." I read the message twice. No heart emoji, no "love you," nothing. Just distance. I leaned back and took a deep breath. The truth was, I already knew more than she realized. A week earlier, while cleaning her car, I had found a silver watch beneath the passenger seat. It didn't belong to me. Engraved on the back were 2 initials, J.T. Jacob Turner, her co-worker. The same co-worker she constantly claimed was just a friend. I had kept the discovery to myself, waiting to see how long the lies would continue. That night, I finally decided I was done waiting. I opened her text and typed a single reply. "Tell Jacob I still have the watch he left in your car." I hit send. Then I set my phone on the table. 3 minutes later, it rang. "Sarah." I ignored it. It rang again. And again. By the 5th call, I couldn't help smiling. The woman who had confidently told me not to wait up suddenly sounded desperate. A new text appeared. "Please answer." Another followed immediately. "I'm coming home." 10 minutes later, headlights swept across the driveway. The front door burst open. Sarah rushed inside, breathing heavily, her face pale. "Daniel," she said, "please listen to me." I remained seated. "Why?" I asked calmly. "You haven't listened to me in months." Tears instantly filled her eyes. "It's not what you think." "Funny," I replied. "That's usually what people say when it's exactly what I think." She dropped her purse and stepped closer. "Jacob was there tonight, but nothing happened." I nodded slowly. "Then explain the watch." Her face lost all color. For a moment, she said nothing. That silence told me everything. "I can explain," she whispered. "No," I said quietly. "You can explain why you lied." She started crying. "I felt ignored. You've been working all the time. We barely talk anymore." The words hit me harder than I expected, not because they justified anything, because she genuinely believed they did. "So instead of talking to me," I said, "you looked for attention somewhere else? I never meant for it to go this far. But it did." She covered her face and sobbed. The room felt smaller than ever. For years I had imagined growing old with this woman. Now I could barely recognize her. "What happens now?" she asked. I stood and walked toward the bedroom. She followed immediately. "Daniel, please." I pulled a suitcase from the closet. The moment she saw it, panic spread across her face. "You're leaving." "Yes. You can't just throw everything away." I looked at her. "Sarah, I'm not the one who threw it away." She grabbed my arm. "I'll change." I gently removed her hand. "The problem is that you already changed." Her tears fell harder. For the first time, she understood that apologies weren't going to save her. Some mistakes happen long before they are discovered. I packed what I needed and walked out. That night, I checked into a hotel across town. By morning, my phone showed dozens of missed calls and countless messages. Some were apologies. Some were promises. Some were desperate declarations of love. I read none of them. When trust is broken, words become meaningless. 2 weeks later, I filed for divorce. Sarah begged for another chance. She showed up at my office. She wrote letters. She even asked mutual friends to convince me, but my decision had already been made. The hardest lesson I learned was that love alone isn't enough. Without honesty, love becomes fragile. Without respect, it becomes impossible. Today, people sometimes ask why my marriage ended. I simply smile and tell them the truth. Because one night, my wife told me not to wait up. And for the first time, I listened. The moment I stopped waiting for her to become honest was the moment I finally found peace.